Hello YouTube! We meet once again. Enjoying some limited edition 14. This was the Triumph from Wine Expert. Good Lord, these are good! Oh, I love the kits. I love the limited edition kits. If you haven't picked yours up yet, I highly advise it. DIY Homebrew Supply. Again, shameless plug. I'm sorry, gotta do it. Order your limited edition kits. They are awesome. 5 unique kits. They're shipped out at the first quarter, basically, of 2015. This is the 2014 Triumph kit. Beautiful red. Just wonderful oakiness. Oh, man. Oh, it's so rich. It's developed such a rich flavor. Oh, wonderful. Anyways, I digress. Thanks for tuning back in. We're checking in on the FastFerment. In my last video, we had done the unboxing and we had started the Winemaker's Trio kit from RJ Spagnol's. And I just wanted to give a little quick update as to what I'm doing with it now. So I have removed that batch from the FastFerment to start a new batch, and what's in here now is actually just one of those Muntons canned kits, the hopped extract kits. It was a Muntons Connoisseur Bock with 2 pounds of plain light dry malt extract. Super easy. It's one of those, like a little bit of hot water, a little bit of dry malt extract, pour the can in, scrape it out, stir it, top it to 5, and you're done. Well, you should top it to 5 Imperial, which is 6 US, but I top it to 5 US, so we get a little bit more maltiness, a little more alcohol content, and I don't have to use all that, you know, a full kilo of dry malt extract or dextrose. Anyways, I digress. So, with this batch that's in here right now, everything's perking along just fine. You can see the airlock, a little bit of activity going on right there. I hope you can. Yeah, you're in the video. Yeah. Bubbling along just fine. This is a couple days in. We're sitting right at, let's see, 68 degrees. I'll try to get that. Whoop. There we go. 68 degrees. I'm trying not to touch the probe. I am a little bit. So perking along just great. The thermometer is a very nice feature on this. So basically, I just wanted to give a little update as to my experience so far with this. So this batch perked along just fine. There's a fine layer of sediment starting to develop in the collection ball, which is to be expected. As it's fermenting, everything's settling down into that collection ball, which is great. With the Winemaker's Trio kit, I did notice I had a couple, I wouldn't say problems with it, but they were definitely things to be expected from a Conical Fermenter. Point in case 1, after immediately mixing in all those oak chips, so there are 3 packs of oak chips, if memory serves correct, and 2 of those big bags of the grape skins, the genuine skins as they call them. All that sediment went right down into this neck and plugged, and I noticed actually that in the collection ball there was a layer of air developing, and I was like, that seems a little odd. I don't think that's supposed to be the case. That is in fact not the case. What had happened is all that oak chips and stuff had settled in the cone and had compacted, and the collection ball was fermenting and the top really wasn't. So I closed it off, removed the collection ball, dumped it right back in the top. Obviously it took right back off because essentially I had a nice big pint or so of EC1118 yeast starter, which is already a monster, so it just went right to town. And opened the ball back up, it bubbled through, it sent the bubble up through, it dislodged all that crap, and away fermentation went. So it went perfectly. And you know, went through the whole process. The collection ball filled up again, like I said, with that oak and all that stuff. After the 7 days, I believe, or so, dumped that out, sanitized it, put it back on, bloop. Everything was going just fine. We added our clarifiers, and that's when I noticed a second plug happened. I noticed that right down in the base of the cone, there was white developing, where in the bottom, in the collection ball, there was no white developing. And when I say white developing, I mean this, see this opaqueness here versus liquid? It looked like this, which meant the yeast was settling in there. You know, yeast has kind of that milky white thing, so it comes across, it looks a little bit more like this opaque rather than this darker color. And I noticed that was kind of developing in the base of the cone. So I was like, I don't think that's supposed to be the case. Same deal. All of that particulate from the oak chips, from all those grape skins and stuff, had kind of plugged the cone, and the actual collection ball was clarifying separately. So again, closed it off. I carefully poured off the cleared wine from the collection ball back into the main fermenter, rinsed out all the crap that had said, all the lees that had settled in there, popped it back on, opened the ball valve back up, bloop, dislodged all that crap that was developing in the cone, and then everything settled out just fine. So, long story short, this has gone on for far too long. A batch like this that has absolutely no particulate in it, you're not going to experience a single plug up. I mean, if you experience a plug up, something's gone incredibly wrong, or you haven't opened the damn ball valve. If you do I would say one of the premium wine kits, or like the ultra premium wine kits where they have lots of additions of the fine particulate oak, or oak chips, or oak cubes, or you know, when you hit it with that 2-part clarifier, the Kieselsaal and Kaidasan, and it just drops all that stuff up in, you know, like what, 2 or 3 days, there may be a chance that it starts to collect in the cone because everything's dropping out so fast. I don't know if gravity's got, you know, enough oomph to sort of pull it down the sides. And when you're dealing with all that kind of thick, heavy particulate, it may clog. So, in process, as we're learning, this is only my second batch in here, I still give it 2 thumbs up so far because it's been great. To not have to do a secondary is really nice. It's really nice. I don't like cleaning all that crap and sanitizing everything just to, you know, siphon it over and then continue to wait. I love the off, bloop, done. But if you're dealing with anything that's going to have a lot of particulate or a lot of quick sediment, just keep an eye on it. Just look for it. You'll see it down here in the base of the cone right here. You'll notice this kind of white, again, the white developing. That's basically yeast sediment. Lees in wine, trub in beer, whatever you want to call it, the sediment that's falling out. If it's going so fast and it starts to settle here, you may just have to, you know, shut your valve off, dislodge the collection ball, drain in your good beer or good wine, clear it out, pop it back on, and allow that air bubble to kind of blast everything out of the cone. And then I've noticed it just settles all right back in, down into the collection ball, exactly where it's supposed to be. So, a little bit of reset. I know you'd have the same problem if you were using, say, a regular, like a stainless steel conical that just has the cone, and then, what do they call it? Like it's just a tube, like an injection tube. The way a standard conical works, all that stuff develops here, and then you basically open up your valve to blow all of it out, and then you close it off again once it starts to run clear. Kind of a similar process with this, but you get to save the good stuff. You can take the, you know, the collection ball, because it's going to have clear, you know, in my instance, it was nice clear red wine, and I didn't want to let that go. That's an expensive kit. Poured it back in, cleaned that out. The blue, you know, the air bubble dislodged all the crap that had stuck in the cone and allowed it to settle back in more in like a chunk, and the collection ball just worked perfectly then. So, yeah, a little bit of a learning curve. I've never used a conical before. This is my first. And yeah, I think so far, like I said, it still gets 2 thumbs up for me. I'm really enjoying it. This is, of course, not the official review, but I wanted to give you an update as to where we were with it and how I liked it. Yeah, so far it's working out great. I can't complain. I decided to do the Winemaker's Trio kit right at the beginning there because I knew it was going to be a big kit and I knew it could pose challenges. And I figured, you know, there's already folks doing reviews of stuff out there. There's already, you know, people doing all this on YouTube. So why not start with something that's a little bit interesting, a little challenging, that could, you know, I don't want to say deter you or, you know, make you choose the FastFerment here. But just to provide you the information, you know, if you typically do those huge, big wine kits that have a lot of particulate in them, it may benefit you to start it in a bucket, so that way it's a little easier to deal with the grape skins and deal with all that oak and particulate and stuff, and then go into a conical for basically your second and third rackings. You know, it wouldn't really be a racking at that point, you know, because it settles out. But, you know, those ultra high-end kits have multiple rackings because all that sediment coming out of there, you're going to be left with so much stuff. It could be funky. So, you know, maybe that could be a good, you know, mental note. Joe, please remember that. Could be something to consider for in the future if I do another huge kit like that. Maybe start it in the bucket with all that stuff, let that crap settle out, then get it into here, let her be. Or, like I was saying, this beer kit has absolutely no particulate in it. It's one of those no-boil kits. You just blend it all together, let it ferment. It's already settling out just fine. I highly doubt this is going to clog. I cannot imagine in a million years. I mean, there's absolutely no indications that anything is building up except on the very bottom in the collection bowl where it's supposed to be. So yeah, so that's that. And, you know, I would imagine that any other standard beer kit, anything, you know, like, I mean, we all try to siphon out our hops or, you know, put them in bags to try to keep the hops out of the primary fermenter. You know, as long as you leave all that heavy particulate behind, I would imagine any beer in this would be perfect. And I would imagine like 90% of the wine kits out there, again, would also be just fine. Because if you've only got one pack of oak or something like that, or maybe a pack of oak and a pack of wineskins, I highly doubt you're going to have a problem with stuff falling out in here to the point that I did. But again, that's why I picked the monster kit. So yeah, if you've got any experience with the FastFerment in this regard, you know, sediment or plugging or anything like that, please leave a comment down below. I'd love to learn a little bit more about how other folks are using this system. Like I said, so far I'm loving it, and I can imagine that it's very similar with any sort of conical. Anytime you're collecting all that junk down to one point, you got to do something with it. But yeah, the not having to rack it is really, really nice. I'm really, really digging that. So yeah, if you've got any comments or, I don't know, useful direction with your own processes using conicals, definitely leave them down below. Let's start a conversation. I know the folks from FastFerment are going to be watching this. You know, all of us are watching it. We're enjoying it. We all like to learn from each other, so why not learn a little bit more about something like this? Yeah, as always, thanks for watching YouTube. Like and subscribe if you haven't done it. I should say that. Like and subscribe if you haven't done it. And let your folks and friends know about the channel. Definitely can't hurt, right? We're all trying to learn from each other. That's kind of the point of our homebrew community here on YouTube. And I wouldn't give it up for the world. So, cheers everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. 17. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's heaven. Oh. Oh, do I? It's heaven. Oh, the bouquet. Mmm. Delightful. Yeah. If you haven't done one of these, you need to. Trust me. So good.